Good morning, my dear friends. May the Lord be with you, fill you with His grace and love, and offer you the best of gifts for this day. When we determine to change the course of our life from something not that good to something better, that we call spiritually conversion, leaving the past behind and choosing a better future. That is what change of life indicates. At such moments, the change that is taking place in our life could be a change triggered by God's grace, God's love. Usually, change for better is a call comes from the Lord, and we love it and we accept it wholeheartedly. That is why we want to move from a bad past to a better future. In such situations, it is also this transition is also accompanied by confusion and kind of blindness. For example, the people traveled from Egypt through the desert to the promised land, from slavery to freedom. The journey between the promised land and Egypt is not that big a deal, probably 380 miles, which is a distance that could be covered in a month. But they were traveling for 40 years. You understand why were they doing it? Just passing through a distance of for 380 miles? Do you need 40 years? That means they were confused. They were not certain about what is the future holding for them. And that confusion led them to even think about, can we go back to our masters who enslaved us? A life of total chaos and boredom, so much of oppression. They even thought about it. When you are confused, you despair, you don't feel like we can make to the other side. You are totally distracted and you don't know what you are doing. St. Paul had experienced the same. It is symbolized by darkness. He was on a spree, killing spree of all believers, followers of Jesus. He was stopped on his way to Damascus. He became blind. He opened his eyes, he couldn't see anything. He was totally confused. What does this mean to me? But one thing we have to understand, at those moments of confusion and emptiness and despair, the grace of God comes to us in abundance. People who were wandering in the desert for 40 years, when they looked back later, they thought those were the best years of God's grace. They felt God's presence so close to them in those moments of confusion. So let us not be disappointed when we make good choice to leave a bad past behind, move forward to a good future. The in-between time of our change and transition could be darkness or confusion or uncertainties that confuses our mind. All these things do not give us a clarity of what we are doing right now. So in those moments, or when we find it so difficult to process such situations, then we need to pray the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, we all know so well. Where there is hatred, let me show love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. And that is the kind of prayer we need to pray in moments of confusion when we are in transition from one way of life to a different way of life. May the God of love and faith fill you with great trust in Him and therefore true hope and joy in your heart that we always make good changes in our life. God bless you and thank you for watching.